much to be jolly about after that shit. Sorry.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
A little fired up. Hello, Craig. Hello, I'm Logan. It's the best damn Illini Postgame Show from No One Asked Us. Coming to you after quite honestly, an ugly basketball game in Champaign. Illinois falls to the quote-unquote number one team in the country, 66-64. I have my opinions about that too, but that's neither here nor there. And yeah, it wasn't pretty. It was a really bad first half of basketball. The second half was slightly better, but Illinois squandered every opportunity they had and fell at home to drop to 7-3 on the season. Hello, Craig. How are you?
Fine.
Okay, cool. Hello, chat. If you're in here, let us know what's up. Give us your thoughts. We're going to try to make this short and sweet because I know people don't want to hear us talk, and we got other places to be and other things to be doing. So, just an ugly end of that basketball game. Terrible first half of basketball all around. I think the big takeaway for me is that this was a really bad game for Tennessee. Like, this was Tennessee's two best players spent most of the game on the bench with fouls. Everybody was in foul trouble in the first half. Literally every player on both teams were in foul trouble. The first half was more about the refs than anything, but this was a very winnable game, and Illinois botched it. We can pinpoint certain things. I know I've been pinpointing certain things that happened towards the end of that game that were not good. But yeah. But really though, what do you want to say? What are your thoughts? Do you have any?
It went exactly how you would expect a close game against a top 5 team to go when you're playing 4 freshmen.
Yeah.
3 freshmen. Might be, what's it called? Recency bias. The game ended 10 minutes ago. He scored 22 points, but Kasparas lost you the game in the end.
Yeah, for sure.
Stupid turn. He had 7 turnovers tonight. 7 turnovers. Missed the first of the free throws. He was great. He had 2 4-point plays, but in the end, he cost you the game. This was a game where I know he's scoring, and I know this sounds crazy because
he's a great player. He's a great player. He's a freshman.
Kylan Boswell should have had the ball in his hands. Kylan Boswell should have been taking the ball out, whatever. He's a junior that has played for a top 15 program for his first 2 years. Give him the ball. And I don't know why Illinois can't draw up a side out of bounds play. It wasn't just the one that he turned it over.
Awful.
Every out of bounds play, not even just side out. Even the baseline out of bounds plays, they were just lobbing it up to Ivisic, hoping he would jump up and get it. Draw something up, man.
It wasn't pretty. Yeah, you mentioned it. KJ, 22 points, team high. He can score. He can pass. He's a future lottery pick. Tonight, he also very much just looked like a freshman, and you're going to get that. This is a real big time opponent in your house. This is the kind of pressure that you're going to see throughout the course of the season. So. Part of me is happy that it happened now. Maybe you knock some of that off and, you look at better come conference play. It was not a great last few minutes, especially for Jakucionis. 22 points for him. He led the team in scoring, 3 rebounds, just 2 assists, and the aforementioned 7 turnovers. For KJ. Tre White, second on the team in scoring with 11. He was 4 for 4 from the free throw line. 2 rebounds and an assist for him. Boswell and Will Riley both also finished in double figures with 10 points each. Ivisic with 12 rebounds. As far as the stat sheet goes, Kylan's 10-7 looks promising, but what you talked about, he needed to have the ball in his hands at the end of the game. As I said, this was a game where Tennessee's 2 best players, Chaz Lanier and Zakai Ziegler, Lanier scored 17 points, but he fouled out
20.
pretty early in the second half. And Ziegler was a non-factor. Jordan Gainey was their top guy tonight. He was the one that made that layup at the end. He finished 23. Hello, Mom and Lennox, and everybody else in the chat. We'll get to some of the chat here shortly. As far as like the box stuff goes, Illinois has been a notoriously bad rebounding team. They didn't get destroyed on the boards tonight. 42-37 was the difference there. Illinois' bench was non-existent as far as points goes. 12 points off the bench. Most of that was Will Riley. Illinois was 17% from 3, 4 for 23. That ain't good. The free throws, the first half was, as I said, just, I don't know that it was the ref show, but like, this is a good matchup. This is a good basketball game.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like we got that in the first half. I feel like we spent the whole time shooting free throws. So like that just kind of took the wind out of the sails. Not that there weren't fouls. I'm not going to say that there weren't fouls, but like, Jesus, let the boys play. You know what I'm saying? You agree?
Yeah, it was, and even with the second half being better, it was not a good college basketball game.
No,
it was
no.
awful. What the hell? Sorry, I'm trying to do something. It was an awful first half. There was no flow, no rhythm. What they say, 45 free throws shot in the first half. I mean, I know Illinois is not ranked, but they're a top 25, top 30 team in the country.
For sure.
Like, let the players decide the game. Like, you know, going in, the culture of the Tennessee program is they're physical, and Brad wants to be physical too. So, there was no flow. Second half was better, but still wasn't great. It was not a good basketball game, even with the better second half. I didn't think it was a particularly fun game to watch.
No.
Typical question after this: would you rather lose like this, or would you rather lose by like 6 or 8?
I mean, my anxiety would probably rather lose by 8 points, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, I think this is a game that, yes, it obviously counts. Like, this very much counts, unlike, like the Ole Miss game, for example. But this is a game where you take something from this experience. If you don't learn something as a team from this, if KJ doesn't realize, like, I got to be better, I can't make these mistakes. Like, if you're gonna cough up a home loss, if it may as well be to the number 1 team in the country, is what I'm saying. Like, it's whatever. You move on. You have more important things to have to come ahead with Big Ten play just around the corner. So, like, I'm not like heartbroken over this loss, but like, it's certainly frustrating. Just like, this was a terrible Tennessee basketball game, and you should have won this game. You led for, I don't know, you led for a majority, honestly, of this game. I know there was a lot of
23 minutes and 49 seconds.
I mean, so I know there was a lot of like back and forth, but like, come on.
Illinois did not make a field goal the last 4:55.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Piper tweeted, Illinois took a 3-point lead with 2:44 left. Gainey hit a 3 to tie it back up. After that, Illinois went missed shot by Jakucionis, turnover by Jakucionis, one of two free throws by Kylan, offensive rebound on the miss, but turnover by Jakucionis, one of 2 free throws by Jakucionis. The last 2:44 of the game.
Just not ideal. Not how you really want to close out a basketball game. But again, hopefully you'll learn something from this.
We got a Tennessee fan in here.
Oh, what's up, Cliff? Refs ruined the game for both teams. They were protecting Vegas. Yeah, that's certainly something to think about.
I wasn't going to say it, but since he brought it up, I haven't been pleased with ESPN Bet. So every once in a while, I'll just empty the bankroll. Like, there's not a whole lot in there. I emptied the bankroll on Tennessee -1.5 tonight. So at least I have that. So now I doubled my bankroll.
I'm proud of you for that. Yeah, no, it wasn't. The refs were definitely making that less enjoyable of a basketball game. On a day full of great contests, great matchups, this was not exactly
But what
to
you were
focus
saying,
on.
and I thought of it too. Going into tonight or today, I guess, the only outcome where I didn't think it would be good for Illinois was like a 30-point loss.
Yeah, I agree.
So even losing, I would think Kasparas is a great basketball player. I don't think he's going to make these mistakes again. I mean, I don't know when the next time he's going to play a team as good as Tennessee again is, but
I don't think it exists in the Big Ten.
Yeah, exactly. And Missouri is not, so I don't know that it happens. So I don't think he'll be as careless. I think Ivisic probably learned a lot tonight. He didn't. I mean, he rebounded the ball, but he was 1 of 5 from the field. I don't think he will. I don't want to say he looked scared, but I think everyone was a little more timid tonight. And I thought it early in the game that these Tennessee guys they're big. They're not not necessarily tall, but they were all stocky. So
someone in the
I
comments,
think it's a learn.
Someone in the comments last game made the comment about Ivisic being a non-factor in the Wisconsin game. And I didn't feel like that was the case, but I felt like that was the case tonight. I mean, granted, he did finish with 12 rebounds, but like I felt like he was a non-factor. He didn't really do much else other than be a body and grab some boards. Again, like you're going to have that. This is a super young team that doesn't have a ton of experience playing together at the Division I level. So like we're still figuring things out, and it's still only December 14th. There's still a lot of basketball to be played, but it's just especially frustrating because this is a game that you could have won, and honestly that you probably should have won, and that's what's going to sting for a while. And those turnovers, that's particularly that turnover towards the end of the game on that was very extremely costly because that led to a completely uncontested layup. I would gone a different direction, who knows? But
as of right now, as it sits with rankings and everything, the second week of February, Illinois has number 24 UCLA, number 21 Michigan State at home, at number 20 Wisconsin, and then the Madison Square Garden game against number 4 Duke. That is when this team needs to peak.
Just if they figured it out by then, be on his honeymoon.
Exactly. If they can figure it out by then, peak by the honeymoon. Peak by I'll say Aruba. I don't know where you guys are going.
Cabo. Hashtag no. Peak by Cabo.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's funny. Peak by Cabo. What's going on in the chat, Craig?
There's a lot. I haven't really pinned any, but let me see here. NDF has been in here quite a bit, so we'll throw this one up.
What's up, NDF? I have not had a good year for Illinois basketball. I went to both Purdue games, both Purdue games, both. Yep. Yeah, I get that. You picked some bad ones. Yeah, I have not had a good track record of going to Illinois games either, but you've been to a lot more than I have recently. So, yeah, pick better is all I'll say to that. Pick better. Blake, what's up, Blake? We just can't win with Riley shooting the way he is. We need Will Riley to be Will Riley. Yeah, I think Will Riley's going to take some time. I've been saying it for a while. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I was right.
Wow.
He's.
I didn't look at his numbers until just now. 1 of 9 from the floor.
Yeah.
Jeez.
We need Will Riley to start making field goals, meaningful field goals in meaningful minutes. Like, I would love to know, like, how much of Will Riley's points have been in garbage time. Because we talk about his gaudy numbers to start the season, but, like, we need Will Riley. You need Will Riley to actually start doing something in meaningful minutes and meaningful games. And I think it's still gonna. There's still an adjustment there. I mean, and Robbie mentioned on the broadcast, he's put on 20 pounds, but he could probably stand to put on another 30. I mean, he's reclassified freshman. Like the kid is super talented. He's oozing with talent. He's a heck of a shooter. But like as you get into Big Ten play, some of that's not going to fly. And if this team really expects to be, a Big Ten contender, which I think they should be, you need a player like Will Riley to be able to help out more than he has. Yeah, tonight, yes, 10 points for Will Riley, 1 for 9 from the field. He scored 8 points at the free throw line.
I mean, I saw a couple. I don't know if it was tweets or comments or what, because we were railing on Humrickhouse after last game. Riley's shooting just as bad, maybe worse.
Yeah. Humrickhouse tonight, 5 points, 1 rebound. The 1 rebound was the putback dunk.
That came out of nowhere.
Play of the night. Play of the game, honestly.
His 1-3 was the first 3 of the game. First shot of the game.
Yep. Yeah. Yes. What Tim say there about Will? He needs to put on more weight.
He needs to get stronger.
He needs to be stronger. Yeah, and that's something that's just going to take time, especially as we get into Big Ten play. Johnny Cash, got a feeling Will is going to be back next year. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I'm going to go with no. But like I will say that I think it's trending in that direction, but I don't think it ever gets to that point. I think the NBA will see him as enough talent that he will go. But yes, he does need to get stronger because again, is he even 18 yet? I don't know.
I think he turned it a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Well, still, like he's a child. Jay, this team simply doesn't get easy buckets like last year. These can't make threes. They'll be in trouble versus the good teams. Yeah, there's no Terrence Shannon on this team that's going to be able to initiate that kind of thing. Marcus Damas was pretty good at it with the booty ball. This team's still figuring some things out. KJ's at times trying to do too much. Kylan Boswell at times isn't doing enough. And we just talked about Will Riley. And, when those 3 aren't clicking, things are going to be less fortunate. You have other options. You have Tre White. You have Avicic. But, like, you need those 3. Those are your 3 best players, ultimately. And you need them to do more than, again, KJ 22 points, but yeah, you're going to need to get more than that because this team is not, as Jay alludes here, is not great at getting the easy buckets.
I know it's the easy thing to do, compare this team to last year's team, but you can't do it. But it was never more glaring than in the first half. Illinois had a 4-on-1 fast break, and they missed 3 shots.
Yeah,
I think it was Riley got a steal. He was 4-on-1, did some up and under, missed. We got the rebound, left it short, and then had a tip in that didn't go in. 4-on-1, and you didn't score. Last year, that was a guaranteed 2, maybe 3 points if you get the end one.
No, I don't think we need to be comparing this team to last year's team. I think if anything, you should compare this team to the team 2 years ago. I said that several weeks ago.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But that team didn't have potential lottery picks on it. But yeah, I think that's more of the comparison here. Let's see. What's Ronnie saying here? Told others shouldn't have finisher. Also, each one of the losses in early season still goes against your resume in March. More losses, a worse seed. I mean, yeah, you can't lose. Like, you don't want to lose ever. I don't know that. I mean, who knows? This team has to figure it out in Big Ten play. I don't know that this team is. I don't know who's winning the Big Ten, but I don't think it's this team. But yeah, I mean, any loss is a bad loss at this point because you need wins. So you're right.
I just think Brad has the formula figured out for the selection committee. They value good losses.
Sure. Better than bad wins?
As opposed to bad wins. Yeah. So this game will not impact Illinois' resume if if they're 20-12 or whatever they are, or 18-14. Like, Illinois will be a bubble team at that, and they'll look. And they, as of now, I don't think they have any considered bad losses. Even at Northwestern, no. I don't think that's a bad loss. So that's why Brad does this. That's why he likes these home and homes and not beaten up on low major or mid major opponents. So
As of right now, they are a combined 6-0 in quads 2 through 4. So they have 3 quad 1 losses.
Yeah,
So I
nothing
don't think
wrong with that at all.
And you're gonna, if you split on the road in the Big Ten, great, just win most of your home games. So yeah.
So
what else you got?
earlier before the game, I was listening to a YouTube channel, or I don't know what they call them, a show, to two guys that talk about Illinois quite a bit.
No one asked us.
And no.
Were you listening to our show, Craig?
I got about 8 minutes in, and one of them threw out a hypothetical of last year Illinois played 5 top 15 KenPom teams and went 0-5. Is that a narrative, or is he trying to create a narrative that Illinois can't beat top 15, top 20 teams? He said 15. I looked at the KenPom. They won 3 games over teams ranked 16 through 20 in KenPom. So he just cut it off at 15, and it looks like they're 0-5. But top 20, they were like 3-6.
I will go with not a narrative, but also not nothing. I mean, I don't know that it's necessarily. It's again, it's not a narrative. I don't think that's like a big storyline to look at, but I do think it is worth mentioning. But I don't know that I would say it's total clickbait.
I turned it off. I didn't finish listening to the preview because I turned it off after that, and I was like, "This guy's he's fishing. He's making something."
I don't disagree, but I don't know that it's total clickbait. I mean, that is. Here's the thing, and this is kind of goes into like the whole Ryan Day discussion. Like, only you have to be of a certain pedigree as a program to be able to willingly fire a head coach that's done nothing but win for your program aside from beating your rival. Illinois basketball is approaching a pedigree that you can maybe start having those conversations. Are they there yet now? No, I do not think so. But I would say that, like, you might eventually get to that point where that's worth a conversation. As it stands today, no. I don't think that is worth much of my time.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, I don't have anything else really to say, but I agree.
Fair enough. Anything else you want to really touch on Mizzou real quick?
Yeah, was last year was the blowout, right? Yeah, won by 24. Trying to just lost by 22 the year before that. So if you're saying this team's like 2 years ago, that's not a good thing. Won by 25. So the last 3 games have been 20-point games. I don't see it that this year. Mizzou's coming off a pretty big win. Have they played since? Yeah, they beat LIU today by 27. They've played one team. They've played 2 teams. They lost to Memphis by 8, and then they beat Kansas. Illinois is the better team,
right?
But it's the bragging rights. I don't know what Mizzou's roster totally is. I don't know if it's 8 freshmen and 1 guy. Like, I don't know how many they returned. I don't know if it's a completely new roster. I have no clue. They're 54th in D1 experience, and Illinois is 304th. So they're definitely older. They've got a lot more guys that have played college basketball than Illinois does. But are they really any good? I really don't know. I'll be completely honest. I have watched 0 minutes of Missouri, so I do not know.
This is the type of team, this Illinois team, and I don't know what we said really kind of before we got into this part of the season, but this team, you really have the 4 big non-conference games before obviously the Duke game that's in the middle of February. But you had the 4. You have Alabama, Arkansas, the other A's tonight, and then Mizzou. At this point, split that. Like, I think that even going into this season, I think that probably would have been an acceptable goal. I think you would have liked to have gone 3-1 in those. But like, I think I will be more than content with splitting against those 4 teams. I think those are probably 4 tournament teams, and I'm fine with that. What this team is, as young as they are, there's still a lot of learning to get to do. But you can never really tell with what you're going to get in the bragging rights game. So,
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's on ESPN proper, I think, this year. Granted, it's on a Sunday afternoon, but
What was it on last year?
I don't know. It's been all over the place. It's gotten relegated to SEC Network and Big Ten Network, and it's the bragging rights game is lost its luster from
100%.
on a national level. Most people don't even realize it's even a rivalry. So, but we know what it is, and we know that as Illinois fans, we always want to kick the living shit out.
I mean, the Enterprise Center is going to be bonkers. Yeah. I think it's probably going to be close to a sellout. I know tickets are a lot more expensive this year than they have been in the past. So
it'll be
I
as
think
good
the
of a
crowd's going to be great. I just don't think outside of these 2 states, I don't think anyone cares about this game.
It will be as good of a game, as good of a matchup that rivalry has seen, with both teams being unranked in a long time.
Yeah.
Right now, neither of them are top 25 teams. I think Illinois probably should be, but they're not. Mizzou's kind of also on the outside, probably a top 30, 40 team. That's where kind of Illinois is. So, yeah, that's what we have to look forward to a week from tomorrow, Sunday the 22nd. I will be doing Christmas things. I will not be available for a show. But if Craig,
I will too. Actually, my family will be here.
Well, I'm actually unavailable the next 2 games. So, why
do we even do a show?
I know I'm the worst.
I don't even know what the next 2 games. Oh, Chicago State. Actually, I was thinking about going to that one, but I don't think we're going to make it.
Great. That's one. I actually have to work. Okay. Anything else, Craig? Any other comments on Illinois basketball? Tennessee.
Win on Sunday.
Not tomorrow.
Correct. But win tomorrow too. If
win the day tomorrow.
Life, win tomorrow.
Win everyone. The day. Quick hitters. Luke Altmaier back. Love the getting in front of the crowd tonight. Good way to start that game. That's always a good sign. Tonight. It's bowl season. Luke Altmaier's back. Did you, where are you at on Kyle Tucker joining the Resistance? You
did you see my tweet today?
No. I
someone reported. Oh, of course, you're not my first friend to do that. Someone tweeted that. Someone tweeted that the Astros are interested in Nolan Arenado, and I said, "Great, we'll take Kyle Tucker."
Funny.
And I had one reply say he's on the Cubs. I was like, no shit. I have what the Cardinals are doing. Cubs can do whatever they want. They're gonna be better than the Cardinals. So I just go get a World Series. No, don't get a World Series. Go to the playoffs for all I care. Don't win the damn thing. But go
also landed former Cardinal great Carson Kelly today or last night.
So. Yeah, and he's going to hit a game-winning home run off of this this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Boobzilla saying Bellinger probably to the Yankees. I've seen that as well.
Yeah, that's happening. The Cubs have too many guys now, so they got to move Bellinger. They're going to get some sort of pitching weapon of some sort, and
I've seen Luis Castillo.
Free up some. Yeah, we'll see. They have some moves to make still, but I think the sign that if you go out and get Kyle Tucker, what is at this point just 1 year, you gotta do more, because that ain't enough. Like, it's a lot, but it ain't enough.
And my honest answer to your question is this conversation was my first thought was, okay, great, you got Kyle Tucker. Who's gonna pitch for you?
Yeah,
like not one of your starters scares me. So
I think the Cubs have a couple really good 2 to 3 in the rotation guys. I think Shota, Steele, and Tyone would be really good 2-3 man in a rotation. I don't know that they really have
I forgot about Justin Steele. He does kind of scare me.
surefire like ace. But they're all lefties. Tyone right now is the only righty really in the mix. So I don't know that I love that, but whatever. Okay. Let's shut this down. Final from Champaign, 66-64 Tennessee with the win. Illinois falls to 7-3. They head to St. Louis a week from tomorrow to play Mizzou. We will see you honestly at this point after the holidays. So have a good holiday, have a good Christmas, all that stuff, New Year's. To you, Craig, to you and your family, to you and your child. Are you excited for your first Christmas as a dad?
Yeah, Christy took some pictures, some real cute pictures today.
Yeah?
That you will see on social media.
I
Yeah.
can't wait. I can't
Yeah.
wait to see them. All right, that's going to do it for us. For Craig, I'm Logan. We will see you guys after the holidays. Merry Christmas.